Good afternoon or evening, everybody, but welcome back to another weather forecast, and it's going to be another tropical video. And hopefully my microphone is actually set at the right one in this video, since yesterday was really bad audio, so I do apologize for that. But hopefully this one actually I did fix it, or I hope I did. But in this video, we're going to be focusing on Ada once again. It is now about to come back out to sea here. It is hours away from coming back out in the Atlantic, which means this could start Chapter 2 of Ada heading for Cuba and the Cayman Islands. Speaking of the Cayman Islands, tropical storm watches have been issued for the Cayman Islands, and there's still a question: will this hit Florida or will it not? The National Hurricane Center hasn't not hitting Florida anymore, except just the Keys. There's continuing to see a western shift here, except the GFS has moved a bit more east again. So that's the question here. We're seeing eastern and western trends for different things. So that leaves Florida right in the middle. So Florida landfall to end the quiet season, or will it remain quiet and will this be Florida's last chance? That's exactly what we're looking at in today's video. Without further ado, let's get deep into the video. So here, look now at the National Hurricane Center. Let me actually forget to bring my Epic pen out, my little pen here. I can't believe I actually forgot to get that. But there is Ada there sitting out into the far eastern Honduras area. And then you see it's about to come out to sea right there. There it is, a few hours from coming out to sea. It's not going to go into Belize. It's going to turn right now, basically, in the next few hours, which is probably why they issued those tropical storm watches for the Cayman Islands. And as you can see, it is now all the way down to 35 miles an hour. So actually, the National Hurricane Center did a great job on predicting its strength, not only for landfall itself, but actually after coming out to sea. So the National Hurricane Center has been very good. You don't hear me say that much this year. I've been very negative towards the National Hurricane Center this year, and for great reasoning. But this is the one time I'll probably give credit to the National Hurricane Center, pretty much. But yeah, they did very good here, and as you do see, it's at 1,005 millibars. Obviously, they didn't predict the actual millibars, but they did predict the actual sustained wind strength. And it is now moving north-northwest at 8 miles an hour. So it's not moving west anymore. It's now starting to go north-northwest, and that's because it's starting to merge now towards that northern turn there. And then they're going to start rapidly going north-northeast. And then go ahead for Cuba. Not going to make a direct landfall for the Cayman Islands, but since it is going to go very close to the Cayman Islands, might as well put tropical storm watches for the tropical storm gust that will be expected for the Cayman Islands. So the low pressure is basically right here over the far northwestern Honduras area. You can kind of see that opening in the cloud cover. Basically it's a tropical depression, so it's going to be very open. Unlike when it made landfall, but you see we are still seeing to the northeast of that low pressure where we have the most amount of convection. Same scenario yesterday. Also seeing a bunch of convection to the west of that low pressure as well, just like yesterday. So we're seeing very similar pattern and a similar formation than we said yesterday. So nothing really major that way. You see that we are seeing very slight cloud cover in that general area, but we're seeing the most amount of cloud cover kind of away from that low pressure there. But we are seeing a lot of cloud cover for portions of Central America, cloud cover all the way over the Cayman Islands and Cuba, and cloud cover as far down as Panama City and portions of areas like Costa Rica, obviously San Jose, and all of as well to the Mexico area. So it's going to be very widespread cloud cover for just for tropical depression. But obviously it's a lot bigger, so that cloud cover is starting to move away. But we still have a bunch of cloud cover that's still attached to that low pressure as it is expected to go out to sea. So here's the latest National Hurricane Center cone. As you can see, not even showing Florida at all now, like nothing. A little bit of the Keys can get some of the eye wall if the wind was actually even that big at that point. But it's going to stay at a moderate tropical storm, strong tropical storm maximum for that time frame between Cuba and Florida, not max strength for the whole storm, because if it does go in the Gulf of Mexico, deep in the Gulf of Mexico, like the National Hurricane Center predicts, it has a very good chance to become a very weak tropical or very weak hurricane. And that's the best chance it has to become a hurricane there. I don't see it being a hurricane if it even hits Florida. But again, it's still far out. It still doesn't make landfall all the way till Sunday in Cuba. So that's still a good 4 days if you're, 3 days. So still plenty of time to change to an eastern shift. Like I did say, the GFS has gone to an eastern shift. So we will see if more global models go towards the GFS or if they follow the iconic European model. But this is what the European model have been showing for a long time. I remember saying it was really weird. It had to be a glitch, but it seems as if the European could be very well accurate with the storm. If it does, then it won't hit Florida, and Florida's season's basically over. That's your last chance, really. Hate to say it, unless some other storm surprisingly comes towards the United States there, but the rest of the November storms will probably stay in the Western Caribbean and hit Central America and not come towards the United States, or shouldn't. But you do see they show landfall around 12 p.m. Sunday. The tropical storm. There we got this tropical storm watches in the yellow for the Cayman Islands. And then you have it now going a sharp northwestern turn, just completely blocking it. It's like a force field there. It's like that high pressure, the Bermuda High is really blocking it, and that's going to avoid Florida. But should see the worst impacts, if any. Well, there will be some heavy rain as well, but if it does go to eastern shift, could we see that landfall in Florida Monday? But if it does, what the National Hurricane Center says right now, more global models, the only impacts we really see is maybe 30, maybe 60 miles an hour maximum, and that'll probably be between Monday and Tuesday. Let's go and check out now the tropical depression Eta. And you do see this is Central Time, so this is around an hour and a half old. There you got the tropical storm watch there in the Cayman Islands there. That's really all there. The actual wind itself there, 45 miles an hour for Saturday early AM. And by Monday PM, it's going to be passing by the Florida and Cuba area by 60 miles an hour. It's going to go right in between these areas like that. So could see maybe 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, maybe 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts maximum for areas like Key West, but Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, you guys probably only be seeing maybe 30 to 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts with maybe max 50, and then strengthens down to 65 by Tuesday PM. Like I did say, the best chance for it to become a hurricane is going into the Gulf of Mexico, like the National Hurricane Center and a few global models show. The new model track guidance on the computer models are anticipating a big western shift as well. We saw a lot more models getting into actually a Florida landfall. Now we only have 4. And one's all the way up to the Key West, really this close, not hitting Florida. So we actually have really 3 models that are actually showing a landfall. And the furthest east is the Hawaiian model, but the Hawaiian model is not too accurate at all. So I wouldn't even look at the Hawaiian model. And then you got the TVCN, TVCX, which seem to be, in general, reliable, but they're getting it to a homestead in areas like Key Largo. And they have other models like the HMNI, COTCI, OFCL, OFCI, and the AEMI, all those other models there that are showing it making landfall in western Cuba, and then doing that sharp northwestern turn there and going out to the Gulf of Mexico. Here's another source here you can see to add more and more models. And you see we have a majority are following the National Hurricane Center. So it seems that we have a bit more of agreement. But now the new GFS 18Z shifting it a lot eastward to our homestead landfall. That's going to raise questions as if we're going to see now an eastern trend, or the GFS just being stupid at this point. We will see here. We will definitely see in the coming hours when the CMC icon, all those other models go in their 18Z model shift. But you see landfall between the Havana area. Well, it's going to be kind of more towards the east of Havana, but Havana is definitely going to get the eye wall for sure. And then, again, the majority are going to be showing it actually maybe slightly touching Key West, but again, really going to be missing Florida at this point. But there's still a chance we could see a shift. Here's even more model. You see the TABD and TABM are taking away over here. The TABS, I think they should just quit modeling storms, because what is that? These 3 just quit because I don't know what they're showing. But TCLP, CLPI5 as well should just quit as well. So these should just quit weather in general because they are drunk. We have to really be focusing on these models right here. As you can see, we have a bit more showing a landfall for Florida here. We have the NGXI, we have the ASWPI, and basically as well the HMNI, TVCA, and TVCE are showing a Florida landfall as well. But then you got the OFCI, CMCI, OFCL, COTI, and OCOL also not showing a Florida landfall. So it's really thin ice right now. It's really a raising question. It's either going to hit Florida near the Homestead or Miami area, or really, it's either going to really hit Florida like Miami, Homestead, or Key Largo, kind of pretty far up inland, even though Key Largo is right on the far northern Keys, or it's not going to hit Florida at all. Or there's also a chance it's going to hit Key West, and really that's it. So there's actually three outcomes: Key West, inland Florida, or nothing at all for Florida. And 10-day guidance, we're going to be seeing a tropical storm now by less than the next 24 hours. So probably the next 12 hours, we have a tropical storm. Going to see Ada back on the National Hurricane Center list. And for the next few days, we're going to be seeing at a tropical storm. But if it does go in the Gulf of Mexico, like the National Hurricane Center do, then see these models getting closer and closer to the yellows. So here's look now at the GFS, and I've been mentioning the GFS quite often with that new eastern shift, and this is exactly what it is. So it's not really a big eastern shift, but it's still pretty significant, and it's going to change a lot of the track there. They show it making landfall far into central Cuba, way to the east of what other models predict, and they have it making a landfall at 984 millibars in the Homestead area. And if you look at 10 meters, they don't have hurricane winds at all. And that's shocking to have a 984 millibar system and not have tropical storm winds. But we have seen that quite often this year, where we have very low central pressure, but still only tropical storm. For example, Epsilon, that's an example. It had like 960 millibars, and it was only a 75-mile-an-hour system. And that's just one of the examples there. I can't get any other off the top of my head so quickly, but if I actually look at the name list, I'll probably be able to give a bit more as well. But there it is, only at 52, 56 knots, which is obviously below 75 miles an hour. And then even there, let's see, that's still at a dark purple, which is not even close to 75 miles an hour. So it's really weird. So they actually have a 984 tropical storm millibar system hitting Homestead. So this is still the 12Z CMC, but we will see what the 18Z shows. Like I said, there's also CMC showing what the National Hurricane Center showing it going out into the Gulf of Mexico, and probably only skinning the Keys at really in general. The Icon as well, where we're going to be waiting for that. Actually, this is the 18Z for the Icon. Actually, I forgot the 18Z came out early in the Icon. The Icon 18Z is still only showing the Keys and then going all the way up near the Bay of Campeche. So, I mean, that's also very interesting. Once it either hits or doesn't hit Florida, then there's going to be even more questions where it goes after that. And then let's take the NAV Gen 12Z as well. And they are showing it actually making landfall near West Palm Beach at a 976 millibar system. So, see if it maybe the HMON or the NAV Gen on their own drugs right now. Or they're just sleeping right now. I guess they're just not caught on with everything. But watch it be right. But H4 so far in the next 24 hours, they predicted being at 995 millibars. And for those who don't think, oh, that's nothing, well, the global model from National Hurricane Center showing it being at that pressure, but once it's actually at Cuba. So the H4 has been very right with the system so far. They nailed the rapid intensification. So it's going to be raising some questions as well. Could it actually become a hurricane before Cuba? Doesn't seem like a great possibility. I mean, H4 has been really right with the storm, and they're showing that. So it's also even more questions. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye guys.